Hello investors and welcome back to Just Randy Stocks. I wanted to talk about Biofrontera or ticker symbol BFRI because this has been on an uptrend since last week when it surged 51% on a short trading day last Friday. This morning it was up pre-market about 20%, 25% where there was a sell-off on the market open. People took profits, but then it found support again around 647 and then climbed to $10 where it was halted. So this has been a massively volatile play. It was one of the highest volume traded stocks last week on Friday. It was the third most highly traded stock. And what did they do? Let's go through this and let's take a look at the charts at the end. And the first thing that I ask myself when I'm looking at this dermatology is this is the study of skin, but what are their products and is there a demand for their products? Are these treatments necessary? Is it common? Is this something that you're going to see demand for? And then I want to take a look at the financials also. Are they in an uptrend? Did they slide back? How are they impacted by COVID? And what can we expect in the next 12 months? So the first product on the company's website is Ameluz, and Ameluz is used to treat a condition, a skin condition known as AK. This is a very common skin condition that dermatologists treat, the most common skin condition that they treat. 40 million Americans develop this AK each year, and these are precancerous cell growths. You could see one here. This is a reddish spot on someone's skin, and this happens from not protecting your skin by the use of sunscreen or clothing or shade, and these harmful radiations. For example, the use of a tanning bed or sun lamp can amplify this precancerous skin growth. So that's what this first product is used for, that treatment in combination with one of these LED lamps. So the last product here on their current portfolio is the CP cream. And the CP cream is used for impetigo, and this is a bacterial infection on the skin that's most common in young children between the ages of 2 and 5. About 10% of children get this each year. So now that we know a little bit about the current products, let's take a research outlook and scroll down just to see what is in the pipeline. I always like to see how much do we have in the pipeline and at what phase, clinical phase, submission, or approval. It has to go through clinical phase 1, 2, and 3. Then it gets submitted, then it gets approved, or they could ask for additional information. And some of these have been kicked back for additional information before they have gotten approval. But you do see that some of this has status complete, but others have FDA approval in October and in preparation and ongoing phases. So be aware that this is a play that when the analysts are talking about this, they're only projecting what's currently in the portfolio now. So it's currently got a $20 price target, and we'll talk about that in a second. But it's important to know that that does not account for anything that's ongoing in the pipeline. So tomorrow is a catalyst for the company. I can't tell you if that's a negative catalyst or a positive catalyst. We'll have to wait and attend that third quarter 2021 financial results and get that business update during the conference call. I plan on attending that Tuesday, November 30th. It's going to happen at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There's 2 phone numbers here, and you can find the replay of the webcast on their investor tab on their website here at this link if you'd like to attend that later. Now, I plan on attending it. If you'd like to hear what I think, I'll do another video. Just give it a big thumbs up and feel free to subscribe to the channel. Now, let's take a look at the volume action for today. You can see in comparison with everything else that was traded, it was number 5, so there's still a high amount of volume and interest on this play. It did drop down from $10 to $8. This has been going all over the place. This was at $6 on open. It dropped all the way down. Then it went up to 10. Now it's dropped down to 5. So we'll have to continue to monitor this, but this is something that I don't know that I would hold through earnings if I was up on my position, just knowing how much this has ran up. Now, if I take you back to last Wednesday, there was a jump in the price, 135%, to get to the price point of $6.19 when the analysts of Roth Capital initiated a stock buy rating of $20 per share. And this was a 12-month price target where they projected future US revenue growth of these two products that we talked about at the beginning of the video. Now, they closed with saying our initial valuation excludes potential commercial upside from any potential future programs. So everything that's getting FDA approval or is in those clinical trials is not included, and that it's focused on those two currently approved drugs. So let's take a look at the company's financials. It has accumulated a deficit of $44.7 million through 3/31/2021. The revenues between 2019 and 2020 did decrease by 10 million, so it's not almost 11 million. You can see it's not going in the right direction. And through reading the S1, it talked about how, COVID was the issue in 2019, and we didn't see that much growth between 2019 and 2020 because COVID was prioritized over skin type care and treatment. And that could make sense, but if we look at Q1 of 2021, the revenue was 4.7 million. The cost of revenue was slightly over 50% of the revenue, which was almost 2.5 million. So if we were to multiply this times 4 quarters, that would put us at about 20 million, which still wouldn't really put us on a great growth path. But if you believe that this expansion into the US market is going to significantly increase revenue for the company, this could be on the right track. We'll have to listen tomorrow to get some additional information. But this last element here, I thought that receivables and inventory was pretty high. If you consider that it's 11.5 million, that just seems like a lot tied up in inventory and receivables. So hopefully maybe they're preparing for needing that inventory, and maybe that's why that number's so high. Now, what do they plan on doing with the IPO money, the proceeds that they gained from going public? And it looks like they plan on hiring additional personnel, putting expansion and completing commercial infrastructure. And then also, which could really send the valuation of this company higher, is the acquisition of other healthcare companies, that ultimate growth, and then acquiring the parent company, Biofrontera AG. Now let's take a look at one item in the S1 filing now that we've went through the financials, and you know that we probably need to manage our expectation for the financials in this quarter if they're anything like previous quarters. You could see the market treatment options. What is the preferred treatment and how much of the market is using topical creams or this PDT, that machine and the gel that I showed you previously? And you can see just 1.8% generation and 11.9% versus the competition. It looks like there is a lot of opportunity even with the treatment that's in their product portfolio versus the other PDT type products. You can see that there is a lot of room for them to gain market share. So let's take a look at the charts for today, and you can see there was a little bit of a downtrend after this was halted at almost 1043. It was halted up here. Typically after the market halts trading, you'll see a decline in the price. So if we zoom out a little bit, I just want you to see how volatile this has been. You can see in just a few days ago, this isn't over a week, this was down in the $2.43 range until it started to absolutely climb up and just gain a lot of retail momentum. People are in this and out of this very quickly, driving the price up and then driving it back down. So I would say to really mitigate your risk, maybe in the low $5 range. If this was to take a huge dip after the results of earnings, this could find support just as you've seen it do this morning. There was a sell-off this morning. It was pre-market up in the $9 range and then dropped all the way down to the low 6 where it gained momentum and went all the way to 10. So we're going to get the news tomorrow. There may be less emphasis on this once people understand what the future looks like, or there may be more optimism in this stock, just understanding their potential for entering the US market and gaining more market share. That's all I got for this video. I hope this helped you. If it did, feel free to subscribe to the channel. Just a reminder to give it a big thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video.